24 hours, I'll blow your planet away!
The battle has just begun!
Hello, and welcome to the RobotnikIsSexy show. We're going to have a Wi-Fi battle against some passerby named Naki. He had like 970 hours and like 500 wins or something. So this guy is a real piece of work. He's the real keeper. If you ever encounter any passerby with over 900 hours, you can bet your soul that they are going to crush you. So he's got a very interesting team. He's going to lead off with the Gothic chick, Gothatel. I make the right lead decisions, go for the Mega Blastoise choice. And he's going to go for the Grass Knot, which does a surprising and disturbing amount of damage. But I can just retaliate back with Dark Pulse. No strings attached, that's a one-hit KO, even with Gothatel's amazing special defense. That's just the power of Mega Blastoise for you, but unfortunately, while, defeating that threat, I have taken a lot of damage, so I'm going to have to switch out. And a nice easy check to this guy is Mamoswine, because with Thick Fat it is not weak to fire. It is, with Thick Fat it resists ice, and it is of course immune to electricity. This is a new Mamoswine I made. It's naughty natured, so its special defense IV is not that great either, and so its special defense as a Toto, it's really low. So even though I resist the hidden power ice, it's going to do a nice chunk. I'm going to get a critical hit on his Fortress, which is really, really lucky, and it helps. So I'm just going to stay in. Even if he wants to go for a Gyro Ball, I don't have speed investment on this Mamoswine. Yes, I do. What am I saying? I do. I totally have speed investment. I'm full of shish. So had he gone for Gyro Ball, he would have exploded my face off. But that was kind of a risk I was willing to make at the time, which in reality, thinking-wise, doesn't really make a lot of sense. But it works out. He goes for Stealth Rocks instead of trying to kill me. You'll also notice that this Mamoswine has a Life Orb instead of a Icicle Plate. The reason for that is this is a Freeze-Dry Mamoswine, and you'll notice this Bill Cosby, the Reuniclus, yeah, it takes hazard damage because I made a Regenerator Reuniclus, and we're going to see what it does, and it kinda sucks ass. By the way, for all of you guys wondering, I spent like 2 days hatching and training those guys, and they pretty much do nothing in this battle. It's pretty soul-crushingly disappointing, but I think I have an idea for the future for them. Anyway, Scissor is in. I thought Bullet Punch would do a little more. Yeah, he lives it not well, but he lives it, and then he blows me up with a Fire Blast. So trading Scissor for that damage is kind of a thing. Actually, you know, it's a pretty good trade, but what happens next is going to blow your hair back a little bit. Scarf Chomp, an essential tool to this team. He's easily the fastest guy there. He's really good at revenge killing. Yeah, he pretty much threatens his entire team. Scarf Chomp just does, and because I got that nice Bullet Punch damage, it did like 90% or whatever, to that Clefable, theory is, as long as Scarf Chomp just stays in and goes for Earthquake, I am fine. Super fine. So, he's going to send out this Chansey. In the back of my mind, I was thinking, you know, he probably has a reason for sending out Chansey, but then at the other back of my mind, or at the front of my mind, I'm like, eh, fuck it, what is he going to do? You're going to see what he does. He goes for Ice Beam, I live on 1 HP, and I get frozen. So, living on 1 HP completely doesn't matter. Maybe I should have stayed in and tried to thaw out, but what I do instead is switch into Mamoswine, knowing that he'll probably want to Ice Beam again. But what he does instead is he switches out, which kind of sucks. as this Mamoswine would have been a useful tool for defeating the evil force of the universe known as Clefable. With Clefable's fairy typing and the gift of fire coverage, it has skyrocketed to OU, and just throwing away Mamo like that isn't really going to help me. I probably should have tried to save it for later. I could have switched into Bill Cosby here. I'm thinking if I replace Regenerator Reuniclus's item with like a Twisted Spoon or like a Psychic Plate or something, then this kind of build of Reuniclus could be viable, and you're going to see why in a second here, because I'm going to go for Trick Room. I know he's going to Volt Switch, so I'm just going to go for Trick Room. And I'm going to go for Psyshock, and this Blissey is going to live on a Smidgen, a bona fide NBZ Smidgen, and that really makes me want to pull my hair out, because if I had a Psychic Plate or Twisted Spoon, I would have just swept his team with Reuniclus right here. I still want to try this guy again, but I think it's unwise to run leftovers on Reuniclus unless you are also carrying Calm Mind, and that's just something I didn't really think about before. So the fact that I fail to kill him just means I'm going to be stalled out, more or less, which is really shitty, and the battle isn't even halfway over, and you guys already know what's going to happen. But I have a surprise member of my team. I don't know if you noticed in the team preview, but I have a Throh, and this Throh makes my heart go pitter-pat. I just love this guy. So Throh is more or less my last hope, because Reuniclus has failed me. I kind of let Mamoswine down by foddering it too early. He's just going to death fodder his Electric Man here. And again, that's another Smidgen right there. That's one turn of Trick Room wasted. So having a Twisted Spoon or whatever is just a much more constructive use of items for this guy, because, you know, I kind of don't need leftovers since I have Regenerators, so it's kind of the whole point of Regenerator. So I don't know, I guess leftovers and Regenerator is a little redundant unless you are carrying a completely physically defensive set, which is what the Calm Mind set calls for, but this is HP and special attack. So he's gonna go for Moonlight, I believe, or something. He did some kind of attack. I didn't really see it. I'm just gonna call it Moonlight. Now, what I probably should have done here is I probably should have stayed in and just gone for more Psyshocks, hoping to crit him sooner or later. But what I do is I just death fodder Garchomp for no reason, and that allows him to get up another Calm Mind. And you might think this looks like the end for me, but you're wrong, because Throh is a motherfucking sorcerer and has the defenses of an Uber, and it has HP out the asshole. So I'm just going to throw Grimmera out there. I'm going to go for Water Pulse. Because I gave it the free Calm Mind, it's not going to do as much damage as I want. Which, you know, the amount of damage it does kind of doesn't matter. I mean, it would have been nice to get more damage on it, but the amount of fast Pokemon I have left to deal with Clefable is pretty much down to 0. Since Mamoswine is gone, it did have speed investment, even though it didn't have a speed nature. Blastoise is gone. Now we're down to Throh. And Throh, bless his little Ernie rubber ducky heart, he's gonna be pretty awesome. I'm gonna go for Ice Punch. I was really hoping Kevin would want to attack me instead of healing, but it does make sense to heal, so I could have gone Circle Throw there, and it would have been pretty cool. But I don't, because I thought he would want to attack me and try to kill me in one hit, because, you know, you would expect that to happen, but no. Throh lives it on yellow health. I don't... How many Calm Minds did this guy have? 2, I think? That's pretty damn impressive. So, I Circle Throw it out now, And now I can just go for rest, because if you guys know about my throw, it is rest, sleep talk, ice punch, and circle throw, and it is a very, very handy set. It does rely very, very heavily on sleep talk working, so it is kind of a gamble in that sense, but I find it a lot more reliable than having to rely on like 90% attacks. Although you could argue that doesn't make sense. But anyway, he's gonna go for that thing, which lowers my attack stat, and I'm like, what is this? Some kind of gargle flop? What's going on here? You don't have charm. You don't carry charm unless you're gargle flop and off your rocker. Completely insano. So he's going to force me to switch out, so he's going to switch out as I switch out, and that means he gets another free turn of using Moonlight with Clefable. So that noble sacrifice Scissor did is kind of in vain. Of course, I got frozen as well. You can calc to see if I would have lived that Ice Beam either way. I'm kind of thinking I would have, just because Garchomp is really, really bulky. But maybe I got really lucky and really unlucky at the same time. I could totally see that happening. So he's going to start Calm Minding again as I go for Trick Room again. And we're basically where we were 5 turns ago. Except now I think I have like a Sleeping Throw or something. Pretty much nothing has happened. So I'm not really sure what I go for now. I think I make a really risky switch into Throw. For no real apparent reason. I predict him to go for Moonlight, and he does, because I thought he would expect me to stay in and go for Psyshock. Which is something I really should have done, because I don't know. I suppose Kevin the Clefable would have worn down Reuniclus sooner or later, but fishing for a crit is a really viable option at this point. Oh, this is what I wanted to do. This is actually sort of clever. I wanted to use the turns of Trick Room so that I could get a +0 priority Sleep Talk Circle Throw, and that's what I was fishing for, but I'm going to get Rest. Sleep Talk is going to pull up Rest, which is a big pain in the asshole. But because Trick Room is still up, I'm going to be faster than Clefable, so I can just use Rest again. And this gives me one last ditch effort. Can I pull off the Sleep Talk Circle Throw, force him out into his only remaining Pokemon, which is Blissey, and then I could just rest up again. I could just do Circle Throw, I could do whatever I wanted, but I'm going to pull Rest twice in a row. I don't really know what the chances of that are. They're probably decently high, and that just kind of sucks big penis, because now I'm just gonna forfeit because I can't beat his Clefable. And that's the problem with fairy types in a nutshell, I guess. I don't know. I guess I shouldn't take it out on fairy types, but I guess I should more take it out on being unlucky and getting frozen. Although that is pretty much a bonehead move by myself, because I could have just switched into Throh or something, or Reuniclus. Like, I could have just switched into Reuniclus against Blissey, and like, what is Blissey gonna do to Reuniclus? Like, pretty much nothing. So, I don't know. Due to bad luck, a mixture of bad luck and me making really terrible moves, I am going to lose this match, but it was a good match. And I found a really good passerby, and we've battled since, and it's been good stuff. And if you enjoy this upload, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you later. YouTube.